Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Deborah. Thanks for joining me today. What I'm working on today is trying to get some more done of this mini book or junk journal that I was making. And the paper is called Mintay and it's Better Times. And I did do some of it on camera, so I'll put the links to that below. But basically looking at it again now, although I love the paper, it's just beautiful. I particularly like the doors that you can open up. I think I need to make it a little bit more mine. So I've got a few things out, including my paper dolls and a bit of ink and stuff, and I'll see what I can do to try and make it a little bit more in my own style. So I have done a fair bit of it. I've got little things here, and I just wondered if I ink some of it up with some distress oxide, if that would actually make it a little bit better for me. So I'm just going to test this first on this piece. So if I ruin it, it's not the end of the world. I think that might be a bit dark, I'm not sure. Let's just do this whole piece now I've got it going and see. Actually, that's not too bad. I quite like that because already it's not as bright as it was. So I think maybe I will use my oxide and just try and get it to dull down a little bit. I do have some of my tea dyed paper as well, because I think that if I intersperse the journal with this, it's going to look a lot better. I'm just going to fold this up and see where this will go. So if I put that in there, then it's going to, this is all higgledy-piggledy, it's all different sizes. Like I think this is the biggest one from memory, and that is quite large. So that's why I don't really mind if my papers are different sizes, because I've kind of made the journal like that as well. Might just fold that over because that will be good for journaling on. And then I can sort of put this, you know, if I put this in here, for example. And then when you come to it, you'll be opening it up and probably like this more than anything. And then you'll be able to fold that out and write on it. Because the other thing is, although there's a few pieces that are plain, a lot of it's got a pattern on it or a picture on it, so it's probably a bit hard to actually write on. Although these little spots here are really good. So you can see I've put some ink around that one now. And I wondered also if using some lace and some other things would make it quite good. And of course some paper dolls never go astray. Looking at what I've got, this little girl for example, like I could sit her on the table there. She looks quite cute sitting there on the, is it a bench? Oh, it's got a hedgehog on it. Better not sit her on the hedgehog. Might have to find somewhere else, although I could sit her there, couldn't I? I could sit her over the lamp actually. Then you wouldn't see the lamp. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do to her. I think as I start doing this, it'll, you know, give me a sense that it is actually going to be more me, not just bright, bright, bright. I don't regret buying the paper at all because I think it's beautiful, but I just need to bring it into my world. So I am going to use my clipping stickers again. I'm trying to use them a lot lately because I've got so many of them. The other thing are these new ones that I got. I don't know if they're sticky backed, but let's see if I've got something here that I can put on this one. I thought the actual turquoise, looking at that now, it's the wrong colour. So I think I'm going to try and use the brown. Let's see if I can find something. Just put this on. I think they might be sticky. They are too. I wasn't sure. I'm just going to put a little saying down there with her, and then I'll just move on to the next one. Now this is the one I did want to do. I want to get something behind there, so when you open that up you see a picture, and I was thinking about the wedding couple, whether I could put them on here. I'm surprised how much of this I actually have done. Every time I take something out of the tub, it's already been done. I do also have this piece of plain paper. If I put that behind there with the wedding couple, when you open the door you get them. So I would actually stick that on there, and then maybe I can put some things around them. The trees are really pretty, aren't they? I could maybe fussy cut some of these trees. It probably has a fussy cut sheet in here actually. See if I can find it. Oh, look at that. There's the fussy cut sheet. Now to get this on here, and it's going to be the right size, I'll stick it on and then I will cut it. I'll just start by putting some glue down. I want to make sure that I get it all the way around the frame so that when it's on, it's going to be able to be opened fairly easily. I'm not putting it on the bottom part here, just this top part. I'm just looking at where that'll go, and up to the fold, so that when I come here I've got that piece on the back. The tree I've fussy cut out, and I want to put it over this side. I can't quite get it under there because I've stuck all that down, but I think I can lift it a teeny bit and then get it under there. And then the couple I will put here. So yes, they're bigger than the tree, I know that. I want to make an impact when I open that up. I might just pull the tree up a bit, and then I don't want to tilt it too much. I would also like to have the trunk in it, to tell the truth. So I found a different wedding couple, and I think I'm going to put them here with the tree here. Well, I should cut that tree off. No, I don't think I will. Alright, let's try and get the tree down. I think that's the best thing to do. I don't want to hide her pretty little shoes. I don't know why he's higher than her. She must be standing on an angle, I guess. But I'm just going to have to live with that. And then because I want something at his feet, because it's annoying me that he's so higher than her, and also I didn't want to cover her pretty shoes, I think I'll put a little word down at his feet. I've got this one, and I don't care if I cover his feet actually. I was just more worried about covering her feet. So I put that down there. I don't know if that looks any good. It's probably a bit too big actually. I have to pop it back on so I can use it again. I can always glue that on if it's a problem when I go to use it. Now I will put something on here just to cover up that feet there. Well, not his feet. I don't actually want to cover his feet. I want to cover the gap between the top of the door and his feet. So I'm just going to put that. It just says within my heart. I've just caught his toes. I wonder if I can, I don't know if I can get it up again now. It's also a little bit crooked, which is, I don't know how I managed to get them crooked all the time when I put them on. I think the stickers themselves are not straight. That doesn't help, but that's better. I feel like that's a much better outcome now. I need to give him something to put his arm on. He's got his arm out, so he needs to be leaning against something. Never thought about that, did I? Okay, just saw it then that he needs to actually lean on something. I've swapped the man sitting for someone else because that other guy needed something to lean on, and I couldn't work out what I was going to put there for him to lean on. This one's got his arm up, but he's probably just got his arm up because he's holding his hat, so I'm more comfortable with that than I was with the other one. So this is going to go down here. I'm going to put some other things alongside him to create like a, you know, maybe these are the people. Maybe this is a party and there are people here and one of them sitting on the table. I don't know. I make up a little story. Helps me with my decisions. And then I'm going to use some of this down the side of here, just to make it grunge it a bit. I think if I just do that and put that over those butterflies, which are really pretty, but this will just, I guess, give it a bit more of me. So I'm just going to tear the paper off here using the edge, and then that's going to go down on there, and the reason being is that it will bring the brightness of those butterflies down a little bit. So I think that that will look better than what it does at the moment. Not that it doesn't look good, it's just, you know, I want to make it more my style. Kind of jumping around all over the place here a little bit, so I apologise for that, but I've just been looking at what else I can do to mix this up a bit. Now I've got this is one of the little bits with the journaling spot in them, and I have been going through and inking some of my edges up, and I'm not going to continue doing that on camera. I'll do that later. But I like this little girl, of course, who doesn't? And I'm going to put her on the swing, because I've just realised that if I put her, just get a little bit of glue on her, if I stand her here, I can put that hand there onto the rope of the swing and balance her toes on the top of the swing, and hopefully she looks like she's holding it with one hand and then swinging with the other, just because I thought, why not? Why shouldn't I do that? So this one here, I have added the bridal couple in and another one of those stickers, and I have also put some stuff on the back. I've got some pink seam binding here. I'm just working out where I'm going to put this one. I think maybe I can put them on here. Yeah, I think I'll put that there. That looks quite good there. So I've just put a bit of Sook Wang double-sided tape on the back. Oh, don't want to put that down yet. And I'll put a bit of the seam binding over the top of that. And then I can tie that up. And when I untie it, I'll be able to pull it out so I can journal on it. Got nothing on that side at the moment. Now I have also done this. Oh, there's the pocket for this one, so I can pop that back in there. What I've done here is I've got some book page, and I've glued it down and rubbed it and then pulled it off so that I've got bits of book page around the place. I've got some there. I even put a little bit up here, some on the bottom of this one. I'm not sure that that looks much good, but I can always put things on it, and I think once I start getting things on it, it will look better than it does at the moment. And I've got a piece on there as well. Wondering if I can put some more of the lace across here. So I've just stuck some of that down now. That's that elasticated frilly stuff. It's quite cute, really. And again, it's just I'm just adding things on top of the actual pages so that I can work through and determine what I need to enhance this a little bit. And I was thinking with this one, I could put these little kids down here with the bird behind them. The bird looks massive behind them, but I don't think it'll matter. I think it'll look quite nice anyway, even though they look like they're about to be eaten by the bird, swallowed up by the bird. And I'll show you how I did this book page. First of all, you need a bit of book page. I actually got that out of the bin. It doesn't matter. It's all good. And then, that's probably the worst one to do it on, because I've put that ruffle on there now. So I'm just going to put that to one side, and I'll try a piece of this. Just put a little bit of matte medium down. Not too much, depending on how much book page you want. And then I kind of just sort of dabbed it around a little bit. Didn't really spread it, just dabbed it on. And take some book page, put it down over the top. Take a credit card. Just rub it with that card. You don't want sort of the straight edges to be on there. And you can see it's bleeding out there, but I've got a wet wipe. It's not very wet anymore. It's been sitting out, but it's fine for what I want to do. Just to take that glue off the page and then let it dry a little bit. And you'll see when it comes up whether or not it's going to work. So because I only want sort of the edges, I'm quite happy to tear most of it off like that. And then where this little bit's glued, I'll just wipe that off as well. Like I said, this wet wipe's not very wet. Wet wipe is not very wet. It's been sitting out for some time. And then you just get this little bit of book page on your paper. I've also got some of this. I'd like to put some of this down too on something. Maybe, not that one, I've done that one. Maybe on this bright one here, I'll do some of this one. So again, I'm not sure how each paper is going to work. The other piece is an older book, and so it worked quite well in terms of putting it down. This one here, I'm not really sure, because it's it's still a pretty old paper, but it's different. It's a different paper. Now, I think if I put this here like that, and then get that credit card, and the reason why you need something to wipe it off is that you're squishing the glue out when you're using the credit card. That's also ensuring that you get a nice bind between the paper and the cardstock, so that's why I'm using a wet wipe. And you probably should let it dry a little bit, depends how much you want on there, and try and pull it off and see. Now, as it starts, you'll see that this one's going to be completely different. It's coming off a bit more at the edges actually, which I quite like the way it's done that. And then just to check it, get my palette knife, make sure I've got no sort of edges that are going to come up. That's pretty good actually. I like that I've got some of the paper, you know, I can see some of the words on the back down the bottom here. And then I'll put something on there. So I'll have to go and get some more backgrounds and things, I think, but I can put this guy on here so that he looks, you know, it'll hide some of that and give it a nicer look. It's just making these pages a bit more vintagey. Before I put anything more down, I'm going to have to go and find some other stuff to kind of put in the background, maybe some washi tape or some other things. I think it needs something linear in here and maybe across here as well, and then I could put a paper doll down. On his own he looks okay, but I think I can do better than that, so I'm just going to try. So I'll probably do that tomorrow, because right now I did have a request when I did my craft room tour last week. Somebody spotted this journal in the background when I was doing the tour, and they asked me what it was, so I thought that I would just give a quick flip through for this one while I'm here. So this is a journal that I did for a class, so it's not something that I did a video of. I've got a little ball pin there with a little bee on him, and it's got a string tie on it, and then it opens up. This paper is called it's Lemon Craft, and it's a Raspberry Garden. So again, it's a really pretty paper, and you can see here, this is where I got the idea for doing that. As I was looking at this when I got it out to have a flip through and thought, why can't I do something like that? I haven't quite got it as transparent as I like, but I might experiment with that a little bit more and see how far I get. Now, I think I've got it upside down too. Let's see, yeah. So it's got a flap that comes over, and as I said, it's got a little bee on the end of the ball pin, because you know you always have bees around, and the raspberries are just beautiful. I like raspberries anyway, to eat them. I like them. So I've done a similar thing here with the paper, where I've used the whole pad. This comes in an A4 pad. I think they do a 6x6 as well, but they may do a 12x12. I'm not really sure. I haven't bought much of their paper, but this one was an A4 pad. So I had to sort of make that work in terms of a junk journal. So what I did was I took the pages, and on the page they had these little squares, and then down the side of the paper was all the fussy cutting. So I took it and I kind of topped and tailed the pages. So that's sort of the picture that was in the square, and then the next one's short on this side and long on this side. That's just how I made this work for a junk journal. It's quite a cute one too. And then this is one of the fussy cut edges of the A4 paper, but I didn't fussy cut them all. I took some of them and just used them like that. So, and I've also used some washi in here and plenty of writing space in this one. So, and I loved the clocks. The clocks are really lovely. So I used, every time there was a clock on the page, I definitely used that. There were clocks everywhere, and I made some tags out of some of the other papers. Again, I'll put some book page down there. Got a tag through here. And this is also one of the fussy cut edges of the rest of the A4. And this one, and then I made a pocket out of the clock, and that is also one of the edges of the fussy cut. So I thought they looked all right, not actually fussy cutting them. I did fussy cut some, but not all. I like this clock because it looks like it's going on the other side of the page. You can't see it, and it's not actually there, but that's what it reminds me of. And then I've this is, oh, I thought that was a pocket, but it's not. This is just some of the fussy cutting, so that's just decorative. And I've just used some of my different vintagey papers to enhance it. And I've got another tag there with the raspberries on the back. And just some seam binding on those. There's another tag. And the papers have got really pretty shades of that turquoise and pink. Here's a pocket that I've done. Again, that's one of the pieces with the clocks on them. And then I've got little half pages, of course, because it's not quite an A4. I think these were about 8 by 8 when I cut that out. So you could do this with an 8 by 8 paper. You don't have to use an A4 like this, and it's just bound with some wax thread. And then in here I've done a belly band, so this is all fussy cut, and then a little booklet with some paper in it. So just some writing paper, and that just tucks away in there, and I've just bound that with some wax thread, just tied it around quite loosely in there, and that doesn't move because it's quite thick. Got a pocket in here. I haven't got anything in that pocket. I may have had, it may have just gotten lost during transportation. And then another little fussy cut sheet here that I haven't fussy cut, and a pocket, side tuck. Got another thing here, and this one here is actually 2 sheets, so it just fits in there like that. And this one, and then I've got another of the belly bands in here. I actually did think I had something under there, but as I said, it may have just got lost along the way somewhere. I've got another little half pages there, and a clock, and there's the end paper. So all that folds up. There's the back. I've folded 2 together, so I've put some washi down the back, and then I've got the string. So this is a really pretty green, quite heavy actually, this string, and it's in the pretty green tone, the same sort of tone as the paper. So that is the little journal that can't remember who asked me could they see through that now. Apologise for that, but anyway, there it is. So hope you enjoyed that, and I think I'll come back tomorrow and do some more of my other journal. I'll see how I go. I might move on to something else. I'm really not sure yet. I'll work out what I want to do when the morning comes, but for now, that is it. This is Deborah. Thanks for watching. Cheers.